The Mouse in the Library by Michelle Worthington. Down below the dusty floor of a dark, deserted library lived a lonely mouse. Once upon a time, the library was bright and new. Her home was underneath the picture book section. Every morning, the excited children would rush in, and she would peep through the floorboards to watch as they chose a book to read. The mouse loved to hear them read out loud, and she knew every book by heart. One day, the librarian didn't come to open the doors. People would come to knock on the door, but it was far too heavy for the mouse to open by herself. Eventually, they stopped knocking. The children never came again. Since then, the books have sat, gathering dust, their stories silent between their yellowing pages. She had almost made up her mind to leave the library forever, but there came a crash from above her head and the sound of muffled voices. Who could it be? Why were they here? What was happening to her much-loved books? Was someone taking them away? She had to stop them. The little mouse shimmied up through the crack in the floorboards and scuttled over work boots. She chewed through wires and gnawed on the plastic. They didn't stop. All day long she heard bumps, bangs and battering. The floor shook with thuds, thumps and hammering. She squeaked and squeaked as loud as she could, hoping they would get a fright and go away. When the footsteps had stopped and the library was silent as before, the mouse climbed from her hiding place under the floor. She couldn't believe her eyes. All around, the library was full of new shelves with new books, full of stories that she had never heard before. Tables and chairs, just the right size for children, had been placed next to the shelves. She had never seen the grey rectangular-shaped frames that stood in a row by the far wall. Best of all, a great, cosy reading nook with pillows and cushions was right above her home in the picture book section. She felt silly at messing in the workers' business without really knowing what they were working for. From that day on, she made a conscious choice to stay in her own business. One day, she might even share her story about it.